I think my battery might be dying. What does that mean? What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Let's Learn. Today we're looking at Feel the Tide by Mumford and Sons. So it's an easy one, let's get right to it.
She sits him down in the stiff chair, rubs his back and strokes his hair, telling him it's okay to cry, but he just sits and stares. Okay,
so even with that much of what we've heard, which isn't a lot, that tells us how to play probably about 75% of the song. Listening to those roots, I hear boom, 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 boom. Right? So in other words, we've got A, D, and so on, and then an E. Right? So what we're going to do is just take those roots and put chords over them. Right? So we know A major, right? And then we know a D major. We go back and forth between those two, and then eventually we have an E, so we play E major. Now, there are two ways to play this. Well, actually, there's a bunch of ways to play it. But the way that I think is correct is I think he's actually got a capo on 2nd fret. And the reason why is because in the chorus, it goes down to that note, which we'll hear in a second. And it just makes a lot more sense to do that with a capo. I'll show you how to play this whole song without a capo too, because I know some of you get upset when I just use a capo and you think it's cheating. I don't really think it is, but to each their own, right? So anyway, with that said, you can play the verse either without a capo. You can go A major, D major, A major, D major, and so on, right? And eventually hit the E major. With the capo, what you would do is you would have that on 2nd fret, and you would do a G major instead, right? Because a G, if you move a G up a whole tone, that is now an A. Even though you're playing a G shape, it's an A. So that's why it sounds the same, but you can do this shape instead. So you do, and then a C. Right? Again, it's actually a D major because it's a C that's shifted up 2 frets. So play it as if you're playing a C9, but it's technically a D major. So you go G, C, G, C, G, C, D, back to the G. And that's good because actually something that you might hear in this song as we go on is that high note a lot. And if you don't use the capo, it's really awkward to reach that note. You'd have to do like an A major with your pinky stretched way up onto 5th, like, and then your D. It's just awkward. And then for the E major, you can't even do it. Yeah. But as I say, for some of you purists out there that don't like using a capo, that's an option. Again, I like using the capo, so let's do that. And now let's play along a little bit so you can see how it fits together, and we'll move on to the chorus.
The merciless moon outside has nothing now he's come to realize. Only the desolation he feels, the cold distance inside.
Right, now
you and I now, we can be alright. We just hold on to what we know is true. You and I.
Okay, so once again, listening to the roots, I hear you and I know, though it's cold outside, just hold on to what you know is true, or something like that with the words. But basically, it sounds like a low E to me, and again, that helps having the capo on there. Back to the C that we've already done, and then G, which we've already done, and then D, which we've already done. So you just have do-do-ba-do, I don't know the words, just hold on to what you know is true. You and I know, though it's cold outside, just still feel the tide turning. Right? So that's pretty easy. Once again, if you don't want to use the capo, then what you would do is an F sharp minor, so just like an E minor, but up on 2nd fret. D major, A major, E major, and F sharp minor. Do it again. Okay, and that sounds pretty good too. Once again, I would say actually if you find yourself in a gig, like I played a show today and I forgot my guitar strap. So you have a gig and you forget a capo, you know, it's good to have these options. Alright, so let's move on. Honestly, that's pretty much the whole song. There's no bridge section, there's no solo section. There is one kind of quiet verse, and he's just doing the same thing as he was doing in the verse to begin with, so like the G major and C major, but it's picked. Right, and I never really figure out the specific fingering. I don't really think it's necessary. But if you have questions about that and you really want to do it like that, like how they do it in the recording, let me know. We'll try and figure it out. But otherwise, I wouldn't say you need to worry about it too much. Okay, so let's play along a little bit more and then we'll wrap up.
Though it's cold inside, feel the tide turning. You stop if you want.
Just on the C.
Priest sits and weeps.
Oh, you're on G, C, G, C.
Lamenting the fact that he can't see.
Same thing. G.
Saw himself from goodness.
C.
He doesn't think he can. G. Refusing what he.
Right, and if you're wondering what that little thing is that I did, right, so basically, I'm just adding my first finger to the first fret of the B string to get that note, and I'm moving my my middle finger from 2nd fret on the A string up to 2nd fret on the D string to get it. Right, and that's a little thing you can throw in with your G major now and then. So you do. Right, you can do a hammer on, you can do pull off, whatever. It all sounds good. But the important thing, again, just keep your main chord in there. You can add little things here and there, and it'll probably work. And that's pretty much it, actually. I don't want to spend too much more time talking about this because there's really nothing else to say. So hopefully that helped, and I know a lot of you have been requesting this for a little while. So there you go. I guess it would help me out if you hit the like button, and if you want to see more of this kind of thing, feel free to subscribe and tell your friends. Alright, so that's it, and I'll see you next time.